everyone. I am in New York City right now and it is raining. Pretty. Oh my god, I can't do this. Today is super exciting because I am getting my eyebrows microbladed again. 2 years ago, I got my eyebrows microbladed, which just means I got them tattooed. I did make a video on that experience. You can check it out, I'll link it. Today, I'm getting them touched up, so I'm taking you along. But first, I am making a quick little stop somewhere else.
I'm just wasted on the couch, 'cause I don't wanna feel anything. Wish you'd stay.
There are a few things you want to do to prepare for your microblading appointment. For about a week before, you want to avoid plucking, waxing, threading, shaping your eyebrows in any way so that the artist can use your natural eyebrow shape. You also want to avoid blood thinners for 3 days before your appointment. That's because they are cutting your skin up a little bit, so you just want to minimize bleeding. You also want to avoid alcohol, cannabis, and CBD for the same reason. In terms of skincare, you want to avoid using retinol or exfoliating products on the eyebrow area just because it can make it a little bit more sensitive.
I know the hour's getting late. I shouldn't sit here contemplating. I just can't stop thinking about us. I won't forget a single thing.
Okay, so coffee shop, matcha latte secured. Now that I got my matcha, it's time for the actual microblading appointment. It is raining so hard, so I'm just gonna go inside. Oh my god, I'm almost there.
Wish you'd stay.
All right, you guys, I am soaking wet. I'm a little early, but I can't just keep wandering around outside because it's raining so hard, and it's also like only 50 degrees out, so it's cold. I'm inside in the building where L Brow is. I'm certainly not as nervous as I was last time because I know what to expect. I've already done this twice. I'm excited. So basically, let's get a little close up. Just like last time, first I walked in, I filled out a bunch of paperwork, there's like all sorts of consents, and then Aunt got started with mapping out my eyebrows. So I already had them done before, so this was a bit quicker than the first time. She mapped out an eyebrow, made sure that I liked the shape, and then she did the same thing with the other eyebrow. So we are currently numbing the outline. Aunt puts in so much effort and detail into planning it all out, so beautiful. And I sat there for like 10 minutes while they were numbing, and then she started doing the microblading. So in case you don't know, microblading is when they make small little scrapes or cuts into your eyebrow to look like eyebrow hairs, and then they put dye in them, so it's kind of like a tattoo, but they look very, very realistic. It did not hurt, just like last time, maybe like the tiniest bit here and there. And if you're curious about what it feels like or what it sounds like, honestly, because of the numbing cream, you can't really feel anything except for some pressure, and then maybe a few times there was a little bit like of a scratching sensation. And the noise, it kind of sounds like if you had a pencil that had like a little like hard bit in it and you were like writing on paper, but it was kind of like making like scrapey sounds instead of like writing smoothly. That's such a specific thing. Then she would smear the dye all over. I can't stop laughing. And then she moved on to the other eyebrow, then she went back to the first one, then she went back to the other one, and then I kind of just sat there, I guess, just letting the dye seep in for a bit.
No matter how hard I try, I cannot get you out of my system.
And then she wiped it all away, and that's it. She took lots of before and after photos as well, just for reference. Sometimes they'll post them on social media. Overall, the procedure took a little bit less than 2.5 hours. They did tell me that it takes about 2.5 hours, so that was very accurate. It felt really, really fast, honestly. But if it's your first time doing microblading ever, and it's not a touch-up, I think that took about 4 hours because they take even longer to map out your eyebrows. But since they had already done that once, they kind of just already went by what I already had. Okay, I'm running, kind of. I'm trying to go fast because I want to catch the train. There's a train at 4:11 and it's like
3:40ish right now. So I have about half an hour to get to the train station. And I really want to catch that one because if I'm just a tad late, I'm gonna have to wait a whole hour for the next one on the floor of Penn Station. And I don't want to do that alone. That's so sad. I will update on the eyebrows once I'm there.
Can I make you change your mind? Yeah, I know that it's over, but can we stay here for a while until everything's alright again? That's cool with you, cool with you, cool with you, 'cause that's cool with me, cool with
Oh my gosh, guys. By some miracle, I made it on the train with like less than a minute to spare. But I did. I ran. The only cardio I've done in like 2 years. This is what the eyebrows are looking like now. They're just a tad red and irritated. That's normal. I'll show you in some better lighting once I get home. Now I'm all cold and wet on the train. My hair was like soaking at one point, completely soaked. The experience was so lovely.
make you change your mind. Just stay a little longer.
So that ended up being kind of a chaotic end to my day. Originally, the plan was to go and explore the city after, get some ramen at this really yummy, authentic ramen spot. Just try out some fun foods that New York City has to offer, maybe go visit some shops, but it ended up just being so cold and so rainy and wet that I just figured it would be best to go home and maybe get dinner somewhere around here instead. Anyway, it is 5:30 and I have this little pouch of little aftercare supplies. So first of all, we have the aftercare instructions printed. I'll go through them with you as I'm doing them. Here we've got a little pack of baby wipes or some sort of wipes with the times written down when I'm supposed to use it. So that's very, very helpful how they do that. We have some balm for your eyebrows and they give you Q-tips, which is so nice. And these little stickers that you put on your eyebrows the first night so that they don't get irritated, I guess. The first day, I have to clean my eyebrows with these wipes during the times that are written down here. So 5:30, 6 p.m., 6:30, and then 8:30, and then 10:30 p.m. I use this, and then the cream and the little stickers for the eyebrows. Let's get a good look at these eyebrows.
There's so much that I'm still keeping to myself, 'cause you don't listen, babe.
So with the wipe, what you're supposed to do is go back and forth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we have a little bit of color dye coming off. They do look super dark right now, but they are not. Ow. So they do look super dark right now, and they're not going to be this dark once the color fades a little bit. It's gonna kind of just look like what I had before, just a little bit more defined. So I'll be repeating this in half an hour. At an IHOP right now. So it hurts a little bit. The first time I did this, there was one spot where it really hurt. Well, not really. That's like dramatic, but it's like a very slight burn. Like maybe if you got like a sunburn and you were touching it.
Like if you got a cut?
No, like
no.
more of like maybe if your skin was sunburned and then you were like rubbing it with like a wipe.
Oh, ow.
Yeah. No, it's not bad though. How are they looking? They're looking good, I hope. Yeah, I mean, they look basically the same. I asked her to make them a tad straighter this time, and I do see that. So they're gonna fade a little bit.
Give me somebody to love.
For the first 7 days, there are some special instructions. You want to avoid sleeping on your eyebrows, avoid physical activity that causes sweating, so no cardio, avoid salt water, swimming pools, saunas, direct sun exposure, any makeup on the eyebrows. You do not want to rub, scratch, or pick it. The eyebrows can get wet, but do not allow any direct water on them. So here I am taking off my makeup, I'm doing my skincare, but I'm being very, very careful to make sure that I'm not applying it on the eyebrows and making sure that nothing is going to drip on my eyebrows. And then for ongoing care, so after the first week, you want to continue to avoid using retinol products or any exfoliating products, peels on your eyebrow area. You can use it on the rest of your face, but you just want to make sure you avoid that kind of thing, because if something is going to regenerate your skin faster, it's also going to make the eyebrows fade faster, because the skin that has the pigment is gonna like regenerate. Feeling so tired now, so I'm just going to watch some Disney. I have some tea and I'm just gonna relax. I walked like almost 5 miles today in the rain. Yeah, but just gonna get cozy and then we'll do the before bed eyebrow instructions. Not sure what it'll be yet. Gotta figure out what I want to watch. My plants really need to be watered though. They look like they're dying, but I watered them last weekend. So, look how cute the decor is. So cute. My clothes is drying there. Oops, I probably shouldn't show that. Don't want to get demonetized. This tea is so good. It's the sleepy tea from Trader Joe's, and I do feel like it helps me sleep better. I'm enjoying this. All right, it's 10:30 p.m. I'm about to start getting to sleep, so it's time to do the last step, and this one is a little bit more involved. First, as it says on here, first we're gonna wipe just like before, and just so you know, I'm using like a clean section of the wipe on each eyebrow, throwing it out, and then I have like more wipes that I use every time. So next, we've got to put this balm on the eyebrows. As you can see, it's a very, very small container. It's supposed to last from like 7 to 10 days, using it morning and night. So this is the first application of it, and it's supposed to last you a while. So you're only supposed to put a tiny, tiny amount on your eyebrows. So as you can see, my eyebrows are a little bit red under the dye. So they have like a red tint because the skin is a little bit irritated underneath. My skin in general is really sensitive. So just like any treatment or procedure, everyone is gonna be a little bit different. Now that I've got the balm on my eyebrows, just a thin layer, I'm going to put these patches on. So this is just like a little piece of tape, basically, that is just going to protect my eyebrows from rubbing on my pillow while I'm sleeping. And this is just for the first night. I remember that last time I did this, I totally put it on crooked and like the tiniest bit of my eyebrow was still peeking out. All right, so that's what they look like. Now I'm all ready for bed. I already did my skincare, as you saw. I know I just watched a little bit of Disney, but I'm gonna fall asleep watching Disney in my bed. It's just the most comforting thing ever. It's definitely a little bit weird seeing them this dark, but they will fade as we've seen before. They try to match the dye that they use to your natural eyebrow color, which is really nice because if you are someone that colors your hair a lot, you might be wondering like, are they gonna go with like my current hair color? Like what if I change it in the future? So they just go with your natural eyebrow hair color. I don't know, maybe you can like request a different color. And I think that's a really good approach because that way it will kind of just look like your natural eyebrows. I feel a little bit crazy, kind of like the crazy people that you see at Penn Station sometimes, talking to themselves. Maybe they're not wearing a shirt. So on the second day and for the rest of the week, the care instructions are very simple. All you have to do is wash your eyebrows in the morning and in the evening with some baby wash, baby soap, baby shampoo, any baby product will do, and then you apply the balm afterwards. So this is the first morning. I actually didn't have any baby wash yet, so I just washed my eyebrows with some water and then I used the balm on top of that. This is what my eyebrows are looking like on the first day. They look so good, and I did end up grabbing some baby wash later that day. As you can see, there's just a little bit of dye that comes off on the Q-tip.
I'm so tired of love songs, life never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so long, looking for someone who wants me to. I've heard every cliche there is, and none of them make sense. I'm so tired of love songs, I'm sick and tired of love songs.
So this is still the first day, but in the evening, I finally picked up some baby wash. I would definitely recommend setting aside some time to go grab some because I didn't have any in the morning. I just used water. But this is how I'm cleaning my eyebrows. Just a little bit of the baby wash, a little bit of water, and just rubbing it gently. And I'm doing this right before bed. And you're also going to put the balm on once again, and then you're going to do this in the morning and night for the first week. So it's been 1 week since the microblading. It's the morning and I just washed them with the baby soap. I'm going to put on the balm now. I haven't really been updating because honestly it just looks the same every single day. But I feel like now that it's been a week, we can kind of talk about what's happened. So for the past 2 or so days when I'm applying the balm, a little bit of the scab, I guess, comes off on the cotton swab, so it's kind of hard to catch on camera, but I got a good one this time. All right, so it's kind of just like the pigment from the eyebrows coming off in like little strips, so it's just like the scab, I guess, coming off. I know that sounds a little gross, but this is what's supposed to happen. Throughout the week, the eyebrows have been looking a little bit patchy. They're still a little bit patchy as those scabs are sort of coming off. They have been the tiniest bit itchy, but nothing terrible. And if they do start to itch, like, you just really want to ignore it because obviously, like, once you start itching, it's only gonna make it worse. So as you can see, they're already lighter. They're already a little bit less crisp and defined. They look super natural. It doesn't look like a really harsh line or anything, and I really don't need to be wearing makeup. The eyebrow hairs have started growing back in underneath, so I've been trying to pluck them as I'm noticing. Since Aunt did such a good job shaping my eyebrows, I kind of want to maintain that shape by just like staying on top of it. So it's been 7 days, so I can do this from 7 to 10 days. I might do it like another day, but I feel like they feel totally normal. So since this was a touch-up, I was very curious about how it would differ from the previous times. And Aunt said that basically the new microblading strokes might not show up as sharply, and it might kind of just look the same as it did before, maybe a little bit darker, but it might not be as defined as it was the first time. And that's because there's some like pigment that had faded and kind of like blurred a little bit. So she said that in the future, if I were to come back again for even more touch-ups, like, you know, in like another like 2 years or so, what she would recommend is for me to get my eyebrows tattoo laser removal so that she had a fresh canvas to work on, so that she could make the strokes like super defined once again, and so that all of the previous stuff wouldn't be there. So I thought that was very interesting. It's nice to know that there is a way to get it off. So that's super cool, and I do think that I'm going to continue doing this sort of stuff. So next time I'll probably do just that, so they have a fresh slate to work on, and who knows, maybe by then I'll want slightly different eyebrow shapes. Speaking of different eyebrow shapes, I was also curious if the eyebrow shape would be different, and I did ask them to be a tiny bit straighter than last time. They are just the tiniest bit straighter under the arch. It's not as high. So that was also quite nice that they could make those slight adjustments. I also do have oily skin, and Aunt informed me that the microblading might not last as long on oily skin because the oils like break down the dyes or whatever. But I liked the microblading. I didn't want to go with the micro shading or like the ombre brows. I really wanted to do the microblading. That's what I had last time, so I kind of decided to stick with it. If it does fade, honestly, I'll just come back. That works for me. I know that for some people that might not be ideal. For me, like, I can always just come back. I don't mind going through like laser tattoo removal or whatever it takes, but that's just me. I'm a high maintenance girly sometimes. But basically, when your microblading starts to fade, it kind of starts to look like micro shading a little bit, where it's more of like that ombre brow look, just because everything, the strokes kind of get a little bit less defined and you can't really see the strokes as much. It's been a month since the microblading, and this is what the eyebrows are looking like now. I have no makeup on the eyebrows. I don't know, I think they look really, really nice. Obviously not as crisp as like the first day, but they faded. They match my hair color really nicely. It's not patchy anymore, it's not red, not itchy or anything like that. And it does make it super easy to get ready in the morning. All right, well, that's the end of the video, I guess. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any more questions, definitely leave a comment and I'll be answering them. Of course, I'm not an expert, just my personal experience. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.